Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are unlocking something absolutely massive. We're moving away from treating AI as just a simple tool, a novelty you casually chat with, and we're transforming it into a true digital coworker. We're going to look at the complete Claude AI ecosystem and how you can ascend from a basic chat interface all the way up to autonomous agentic systems that literally live right on your hard drive.
Look, we've all been there, right? Constantly copying and pasting text across scattered, context-losing browser tabs. Maybe you're opening your 5th chat window of the day because the AI simply forgot what you were talking about 10 minutes ago. Well, if that sounds familiar, you're essentially wasting time trying to save time. You're working for the AI, instead of having the AI work for you. But today, we're going to change that completely.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our agenda. 1. Beyond the chat interface. 2. Perfecting your prompts. 3. Workspaces and reusable skills. 4. The agentic AI revolution. And 5. Building apps without code.
Section 1. Beyond the chat interface. Moving past scattered chats to a unified workflow.
Think of Claude kind of like a firm, where you can hire 3 different types of employees, totally depending on the job at hand. First up, you've got Haiku. This is your sprinter. It's incredibly fast, lightweight, and absolutely perfect for quick tasks and fast edits, where you really don't need deep reasoning. Then you have Sonnet. This is your everyday workhorse, providing a fantastic balance of speed and intelligence. Honestly, you'll likely use Sonnet for 80% of your daily tasks. And finally, we have Opus. Opus is your deep thinking specialist. It's definitely slower and it uses more tokens, but it has the absolute highest level of deep reasoning. You pull in Opus for complex analysis, processing long documents, or planning out really heavy coding architecture before any actual building begins.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the concept of artifacts. It's a massive upgrade. If you ask the AI to build a marketing plan or code a web game, it doesn't just spit out a massive wall of text that gets completely buried in your chat feed. No way. Instead, it creates an artifact, a dedicated interactive side panel right on your screen. Say you're building a product launch plan for a new oatmeal raisin cookie. Claude actually builds it in the side panel where you can view it, ask for specific revisions like adding a sales forecast, and literally watch the document update live right next to your chat. It's a real game changer.
Section 2. Perfecting your prompts, the formula for better outputs.
Of course, absolutely none of these features matter if you aren't giving your digital coworker the right directions, right? To avoid those generic, unhelpful replies, you got to use the ICC formula. Instructions? Tell it the exact action to take. Context? Give it your role, your objectives, and background, and honestly, err on the side of giving too much context here. Constraints? Specify the rules, the tone, and the format. And here is a fantastic pro tip straight from the sources. End your prompt by explicitly asking Claude to conduct a context interview. This allows the AI to ask you a series of clarifying questions before it even generates a response, which perfectly tailors the final output to your specific situation.
Section 3. Workspaces and reusable skills. Organizing for efficiency.
So, once you've mastered prompting, you're ready to organize your ecosystem so you basically never have to repeat yourself again. The absolute foundation of this level is projects. A project is a self-contained workspace dedicated entirely to a specific client, a campaign, or a workstream. Instead of starting from scratch every single day, you just upload your brand guidelines, past PDFs, and set custom instructions that only apply to this specific workspace. Every time you open that project, your digital coworker immediately remembers all the context. It securely keeps your work organized in one continuous stream of memory.
Now, projects become incredibly powerful when you combine them with skills. So the crucial point is that skills are reusable capability modules. Let's say you frequently write YouTube scripts, and you have a very specific way you like to format the metadata, the SEO, and the descriptions. Instead of prompting all those steps every single time, you teach Claude that process exactly once and save it as a skill. Then with just one click, Claude executes that exact multi-step workflow the same way every single time. It completely separates the casual users from the power users.
Think about the old way we used AI. It required manually downloading PDFs, copying meeting notes, and just constantly pasting them back and forth into the chat. Exhausting, right? Well, the new way uses connectors to create live bridges. You can literally connect to Google Drive, Gmail, Notion, or GitHub. Your AI coworker can now pull live meeting notes directly from an app or draft replies right in your inbox without you ever leaving the Claude workspace.
Section 4. The Agentic AI Revolution. Moving to the terminal.
This quote from the sources really hits the nail on the head. Claude Code doesn't just give you code, It writes the files on your computer. Using a tool called Claude Code in your terminal, the AI literally lives locally on your machine. It can autonomously read your entire project folder, look at how all your dependencies connect, edit files directly, and even create new folders. You don't have to copy and paste code anymore. It is physically doing the typing on your hard drive for you.
And that brings us to what makes an AI truly agentic. Agentic models don't just sit there and answer questions, they take action. They plan a project, execute the steps, and crucially, they catch their own errors. If Claude Code is building a game, and a feature suddenly breaks during testing, the AI literally reads the error, realizes it used the wrong parameters, and rewrites the code to course correct on the fly, all without you having to intervene or even ask.
And this brilliantly illustrates your optimal workflow in the terminal. First, Opus acts as your architect to plan out the complex logic and catch any weird edge cases. Then, you simply hand that plan over to Sonnet, your builder model, to quickly and efficiently write the actual code. Finally, you run an initialization command that generates a claude.md file. This is a persistent memory file that sits right in your folder, ensuring that even if you completely shut down your computer, your AI coworker never loses the context of what you were building.
Section 5. Building apps without code, from idea to deployment.
Here's where it gets super fun. Using just plain English, you describe the problem, and the AI builds the solution. You can literally create local habit trackers, custom Chrome extensions for quick one-click text summaries, or even Python automations for your social media workflows. The technical barrier to entry is entirely gone now.
But what happens when a design doesn't look quite right? Well, you definitely don't need to dig through Stack Overflow anymore. You just use visual debugging. If a button is the wrong color on your new app, just take a screenshot, drop it into the chat, and literally type, "Fix this." Claude sees the image, finds the correct file on your hard drive, edits the code, and instantly updates the design across your entire page.
So what does this all mean for us? The ultimate question is, what will you build next? The days of using AI as just a fancy search engine are completely over. You now know exactly how to utilize projects, skills, and agentic workflows to deploy a brilliant digital coworker right on your machine. I challenge you to close out of those endless scattered browser tabs, set up a proper workspace, and start solving your daily workflow bottlenecks. The tools are right here, ready and waiting. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and stay curious.